A group marching with a banner declaring, "We don't want Biden, we want revenge." It is 10 o'clock. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Elizabeth Din. That anti-government group attacked the Democratic Party of Oregon's offices just this afternoon, smashing windows and spray painting the walls.
Now, they dispersed, but tonight a group is gathered at the ICE building in South Portland. Let's switch to Jennifer Dowling, who's on the scene. What's the latest, Jennifer?
Well, as you can see behind me, there's a huge crowd that's gathered here off Southwest Moody. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see it. There are at least 200 people that have come to protest ICE at the ICE building in Southwest Portland. And we have a huge crowd here matched up against what looks like federal officers, just judging by their helmets. And those federal officers actually have a leaf blower. It looks like a commercial leaf blower anyway. That's that noise you hear that sounds kind of like a lawnmower or a leaf blower, as you might imagine someone with landscaping would have. It just looks a little bit more industrial strength than what you're used to seeing. But we also have smelled what we thought might be tear gas in the air. It could have been smoke canisters, though. We're not sure. But some protesters did tell us that they got gassed over by the ICE building, and it did smell like tear gas. And we do know that federal officers will use that, although Portland police have not been using it. We do know that if it is a Department of Homeland Security officer, there could be a chance that gas will be used. So we'll have to confirm that to see if any federal officers deployed gas, but it smelled like it earlier. It was at least smoke canisters. And then tonight, again, you can see that there are a huge number of people gathered here facing down those federal officers. So things got a little crazy also on the northeast side of Portland. Of course, we're on the southwest side right now, but earlier tonight, vandals struck northeast Portland at the Democratic headquarters in northeast Portland near 9th and Everett Street. And we talked to one homeless man who was trying to help put some fires out there after that vandalism sweep came through. Take a listen.
The sound of breaking glass could be heard at Northeast 9th and Everett, where a group dressed in black busted out windows and tagged the headquarters of the Democratic Party of Oregon. The march started with a group of 100 to 200 gathered at Revolution Hall. They traveled into Northeast Portland, carrying signs that indicated they were protesting police, President Joe Biden, and government in general. Once they got to Democratic headquarters, they started smashing glass and setting a small dumpster fire. A homeless man who lives nearby brought over his water jug and started putting the fire out. He pulled the dumpster out of the middle of the road.
Trying to get him out of the road and put him back.
He didn't want to give his name, but wanted to tell us he was disappointed in the actions of the group.
If I felt that they actually believed in what they were doing and that it was actually going to do any good, I'd be all for it.
He feels that this group is destroying property for, quote, no reason. He also feels like it will be detrimental to the homeless in the area.
Like, why are we going to destroy what we're trying to fix? Now we're probably going to get kicked out of here.
And Tim McCann issued a statement from the Democratic Party of Oregon saying, "We're thankful that none of our staff were in the building at the time. This is not the first time our building has been vandalized during the past year. None of the prior incidents have deterred us from our important work to elect Democrats up and down the ballot, and this will be no different." And Portland police reported that 8 people were arrested in relation to the damage done during that march in southeast and northeast Portland. And back out here, again at Southwest Moody, people shouting at potential federal officers. We also have seen Portland police in the area as well, declaring this an unlawful assembly just about a half an hour ago or so. So we could see more police action here tonight. It looks like the group is persisting here in the southwest area. And we'll keep monitoring it because things could get more heated. Back to you.
Any new developments, of course, Jennifer will be switching back to you. Well, downtown Portland businesses were prepared for possible trouble today, boarding up windows once again after getting an alert from police about what could happen. One restaurant owner told us a lot of downtown employees, their customers, worked from home today, and they also took extra precautions.
A lot of concerns because we weren't sure if there was going to be protests or not, and what kind. The police had sent around a bulletin. They told us to bring all our signage and our tables and everything inside, which we did over the weekend.
Gail owns the Portland Kettle along with her husband, and next door the House of Ramen, and both restaurants told us business is still nowhere back to normal yet because of the pandemic, but they say It was even slower today. Now, another large group marched today in Northeast Portland at what they're calling a rally to inaugurate justice.
So unlike the other event, which Jennifer Dowling just reported from, this one was peaceful. Jenny Young followed that group during the march tonight. Jenny joins us live now. Jenny, they say that they're not satisfied with the new Biden administration and have a list of demands. Tell us more.
Jeff, Elizabeth, they say that, they're hopeful for this new era in the United States, but they want policies in place that will help marginalized communities.
We the people who believe that healthcare is a basic human right. We the people who believe that capitalism exploits the poor and working class.
Calling on government to, quote, inaugurate justice and defend Black lives.
Black America, in which there is no real justice.
A large group gathered under the pavilion here at Irving Park. Activists spoke on issues including abolishing police, passing the Green New Deal, protecting immigrants, and other social justice topics.
We need to be more organized and more powerful than we have ever been before.
Organized by the Defend Democracy Coalition, the group says they're glad Donald Trump has left 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, but they're not putting their faith in a Biden presidency.
We have a president in the White House who does not want the change that we need.
Joe Biden is a feckless puppet of the centrist Democratic establishment who is only president because of his ties to corporate interests.
The demonstrators took their message to surrounding neighborhoods, marching along Northeast Fremont.
I think he's a good person. I think he means well.
Peter Downey doesn't exactly share the majority's view on President Biden, but says he came out because these causes are important to him.
We still got a system. Needs a lot of work to be done. A lot of poor people. And you got the same establishment who hasn't been all that good at dealing with these things to begin with.
So there was a small police presence at the corner of the park, and that was because there was a rollover crash on the adjacent street. About a handful or so of protesters, maybe a dozen or so, went over and were kind of giving those police some grief, like yelling vulgarities. But other than that, there was no unrest out there. Reporting live tonight, Jenny Young, KOIN 6 News.